Time. Hello, Sunny Bonani. Welcome to Melbourne. Welcome to the 18th installment of this extended BrakeAway Racing League season. Welcome to more Tier 2 action as these contenders look to consolidate their positions for possible promotion up to the top tier of this here hallowed league. We were in Australia for 18 minutes of qualifying, and we'll get a sense of whether or not these drivers can have all they need to fight it out for those stakes at the front of this 7-driver field. I do believe His Royal Highness the King Rapture is also on hand to make their presence felt. So we will get an indication of just how well they will do in due course. 18 minutes of this qualifying session. It is short quali, as is usually the case. Marshy, first out on track here in Australia, will give us our first look at just how well the going is at these early stages of this qualifying session. Just a notice here, folks. Are having network issues on my end. There is an incident of unreliable connectivity in our area. Not everyone is affected, but sadly I am. So I'm currently using neighbor's Wi-Fi. I do hope it holds up for the duration of this stream, and that we do not have any unnecessary incidents. But fingers crossed, all goes well. Marshy will be the first to give us a taste of just how well things are going out here in Australia. Thank you for choosing BrakeAway Racing League. Please subscribe to our channel, like the stream if you have not done so already. 16 minutes remaining in this session. Marshy will be the first to go on a representative lap in this beautiful circuit with a total of 4 DRS zones, the first of which is being navigated right now as Marshy crosses the line on the way towards turn number 1. Team Haas onto the brake, the turns number 1 and 2. Let's see now how the first sector will be navigated by Marshy here, who is going to lay down the gauntlets for this initial push lap. Give us a sense, 27.652 is the kind of effort that Marshy has put on here today, and now through the DRS zone, all the way down towards the braking zone, that being turns 9 and 10. Marshy, scorching effort, 45.630, just before coming in towards the left hand of turn 9. The exit of 10 is good. Marshy looking good, looking comfortable, clearing a lot of speed now towards the heavy braking zone, that being turn number 11. Nailed the apex there, not too much and not wide there, so Marshy looking very, very comfortable. All those hours on the simulator paying dividends now as far as Marshy is concerned. There's a yellow flag on another part of the track. Marshy will pay no close mind to that. It is going to be Marshy now towards the line to set the first representative time, 120.173. Man Ray is next. Is it going to be quicker? Looking very good. It's looking like it might yet be the case for Man Ray. He crosses the line, 118.911 is very, very good looking indeed. M. Shengu next up towards the line, even quicker, on 18.4, makes it the quickest time of the day, nudging Marshy down to P3, and Man Ray into that second spot. It looks like Capoza, or is it Estexa, on the verge of crossing the line, the second quickest time of the day, 118.902. Capoza is still in the pits. We've yet to see what sort of times they could be putting in. Let's hop on over now to a 3-way procession led by His Royal Highness the King Rapture. Oh, there's a Ferrari which just went completely off the track. It was just Tendo. It was just an outlap, thankfully for them. So we will instead hop on over to the other Alfa Romeo, sadly, and Quali also having invalidated, falling foul of track limits there. and Quali is going to have to go all the way around. Once again, that wing is still intact. Those medium tires are still very, very fresh, of course. It's still early doors, early days here, as these contenders are going to give us a sense of just how well their efforts are going to go. Back to His Royal Highness the King Raptor. Second bite at the cherry, wide of the apex in turn number 1, trying to get their bearings right on the exit of 2. Now, trying to carry as much speed as possible now in towards this braking zone, and the right-hander, the Alpine Superstar. We know what sort of pace they can carry. He's no stranger to challenging at the front of the field with His Royal Highness the King Raptor. But work to do here. How much time has he put in on the simulator in the build-up to today's showcase? 27.469 at the end of the first sector. Nothing to be stopped at. Very similar to some of the runners that we've seen in the top 3 positions thus far. Now the second sector, and we'll soon open up that rear wing to get that sweet DRS down in that rush towards the left-hander of turn number 9, which of course leads straight into the chicane. Or rather, I beg pardon, the right hand of turn 10, rides the curve heavily there, and has to catch the car, and as he does so, invalidates again His Royal Highness the King Raptor over the limit, consecutive laps, as Just Tendo sadly has also invalidated. We'll hop on over instead to M. Shengu's teammate. M. Shengu currently occupying the top spot, quickest driver 118.458. Ken and Quali come close. Well, it's going to be tough on these medium tires, of course. And Quali treating the early part of this session as a sort of free practice, if you will, struggling there through that final corner, but manages to catch that car now, opening up that rear wing to send it screaming towards the line for the 5th quickest time, 1:21.822. Just Tendo still out on track, looking to begin a proper push lap. Is Tendo going to go for it still? Yeah, seems that is still going to be the case. Just Tendo. Seemingly they do have enough fuel on board to not necessitate coming back into the pits at this early stage. Kid K, King Raptor, Composer, yet to set representative time, as has Tendo in the Ferrari, who is completely off the mark there through the right-hander and almost invalidated it there. Just Tendo, perhaps lacking practice, or perhaps lacking confidence. Oh no! He sends it into the wall, and he's in 6s and 7s trying to catch it. And thankfully for Tendo, he did not lose the car completely there. So work to do for the Ferrari. Did not have any confidence there. Just Tendo, work to do, way off the mark through turns 9 and 10. He's down by some margin from the end of sector 2. Post Tendo will just want to set a representative time. He's struggling. 0-0 grip, seemingly, despite being on a fresh set of soft tires. Or perhaps having a slight issue here, which is not exactly showing us the true age of these tires. This is probably the 3rd lap that Tendo has done. Going to cross the line for the first representative lap. But as you can see, seemingly this game is not quite counting the amount of laps that Tendo has done. Let's hop on over now back to Man Ray. Turn 1, a little bit of overspeed there. Managed to keep it together. And now sending it towards the braking zone of turn number 3. Looking to nail that apex, which he does. Through 4th gear, through 4. Man Ray on the limit, pedal to the metal through 5 into the braking zone now, and looking to keep it absolutely valid. Looking and seeming very confident is the Mercedes Superstar, whose teammate Kid K has yet to exit the pit. We've seen Kid K come out the pits fairly late on in earlier races of this season. Now, will that be the case today? Time will tell. Man Ray has found 2.7 tenths of a second come the end of the middle sector. Now, trying to eke out a little bit of slipstream from the slow-moving Tendo. Might not be the case. Tendo needs to get out the way. Tendo gets out the way, finally. But I do wonder if that cost Man Ray a crucial lift off the throttle there. Now Man Ray's entry into the penultimate corner was compromised. And Man Ray has to slam on the brakes as that lap was completely ruined at the death. Man Ray better be careful to keep that car moving so as to not get disqualified after standing still at a dangerous place on the track. Man Ray was on track for something decent as far as improvement is concerned. He would have, at the very least, overtaken Espexa, judging by the improvement that he had found come the end of the middle sector. But sadly for Manray, going to have to go all the way around. So we'll hop on over instead to King Rapture, who sadly hasn't validated. Capoza, fresh in the lobby, fresh on their first attempt, comes across the line. 119.1 is only fourth quickest. Capoza, the veteran driver, formerly of the top tier, with a lot of work to do here. Capoza. But the lap is still valid, which, of course, is the most important thing that he will care about right now. A lot of time, 7.5 minutes, just over 7.5 minutes for Capoza to give it one more almighty push. Let's hop on over now to the King Raptor, who's had a day from hell as far as his prospects are concerned. Invalidation after invalidation. Another bite of the cherry for His Royal Highness, the King Rapture. Oh. And the exit of 4 on the limit there. Billy Hendricks is in the comment section. It's good to see you, as is, of course, the case of everybody who is tuned in here to this 18th race of the season out here in Australia. Royal Highness, the King Raptor, looking to conclude the middle sector. What'll it be? Will it be in the 44 seconds? The answer is 45.259. Oh, goes deep through 9, which, of course, compromised the entry into 10. The King Raptor is just going to be glad that it is still a valid lap come the heavy braking zone through this right-hander of 11. Going to need to be inch perfect in this final sector. Will the Alpine Superstar? Oh no, completely deep on the penultimate corner, and it is another compromised lap from His Royal Highness, the King Rapture. Try as he might, time after time, lap after lap, cannot put something together. Crosses the line, 121.7. It is the 6th quickest, way down, according to his own very lofty standards. Work to do for His Royal Highness, the King Rapture. Kid K, just Tendo on outlaps. The Mercedes driver had yet to set a representative lap, that being Kid K, of course. Man Ray is all the way up in P3, as Bizozo has joined the fray. His Royal Highness, the King Rapture, invalidate yet again. On over now to Inquali, who will soon catch up with the slow-moving King Rapture, who is just invalidated, of course. Inquali not having the best exits out of turn number 4, which compromised their entry there. Now to the braking zone, not quite the cleanest entry there as well. These drivers are struggling, really, for performance out here. As we now are going to see the Alfa Romeo screaming towards the braking zone. It didn't seem like he opened up his DRS, didn't Quali? Yep, he's not activating DRS at all. Still treating this as a sort of de facto practice, if you will. So we'll catch up with Quali a little bit later. Spizoso has joined the fray to get a sense of how well they can do. As we also catch up with Kid K to see how that middle sector will go. Kid K, representing Mercedes, looking to stake their claim, 46.625 at the end of the middle sector. Clean through turns 9 and 10. Here comes the heavy braking zone of turn number 11. Billy Hendricks in the comments says Tendo has not switched on hot lap ERS. That's what Tendo needs to do. Kid K now approaching the penultimate corner of this track. Needs to be inch perfect. A couple of corrections there. See him fighting the steering wheel there, did Kid K. Now is going to send it screaming towards the line. What'll it be for Kid K? 8th quickest, 121.953. Work to do for Kid K. Espexa now on a set of mediums. The best that they could do was a 118.6. Interesting choice to go with mediums late in the day here in this quality session. As you can see, very, very comfortable through that sequence of corners. But the question is, despite the tire compound, can Espexa miraculously find a semblance of improvement? The answer is no, down by more than 1/10 of a second as he now comes through turns 9 and 10. 3.5 minutes of this session to go. Texa on the mediums, feeling things out. Will he dive straight back into the pits? The answer is yes, they will. Man Ray moving quite slowly as Mshengu is giving it another almighty push. He's down by 8/100ths of a second come the end of the first sector. Mshengu giving it another go, another push. Looking for an inch-perfect middle and final sector. Behind them, Kapoza is also out on track. Not quite nailing the apex there. He's found improvement, just a tiny fraction, 7/1000th of a second worth of improvement come the end of the middle sector. In towards turn number 11 now. Tendo, get out the way, or Spizozo, if that is you. Seemed like it might have been one of the Ferraris there. Oh, and Mshengu absolutely leaving nothing to chance on the limit. That car is sliding all through those corners, but Mshengu managing to keep it together. Will Mshengu improve marginally even further? The answer is yes! It's a 118.126. Once again, Mshengu, the class of the field, at this point in qualifying. Kapoza, what could they do now? Nope, the answer is Kapoza is moving very slowly because he's not quite close enough to coming through in due time. Spizozo is now out on track, joined the session late on. It's on mediums. Funny enough, Kapoza has retired. The best that they could do is currently P4. The likes of Marshy, Raptor, and Crowley. Even Kid K challenged Kapoza. Time will tell. This, however, is Spizozo, who has rolled the dice and chosen a set of medium tires here on what could yet be their only valid push lap of this entire session. Spizozo, the Sultan of straight line speed, will certainly enjoy their time on a track like Australia. As Texa, the latest driver to retire from this session, the best that they could manage, provisionally P2. 46.9 is Spizozo's middle sector time. And let's see now as the scorching hot, red-hot Ferrari goes screaming towards turn number 11 whether or not he can find something decent. Oh, went quite deep there through 11. Compromised on the exit as well. He's fighting the steering wheel on exit. And Spizozo goes deep through the penultimate corner into the grass. And that is not looking good at all. Spizozo gives up on that push lap. Is going to be content to fight from the back of the pack. This is Marshy that we're watching now. It seems and Quali is on the verge of crossing the line, and Quali has improved up to P6. We're on board with Marshy. However, we're also going to see whether or not His Royal Highness the King Rapture can do something as far as that improvement is concerned. Marshy was P5. Marshy now crosses the line. Still P5 despite finding more than 3/10 worth of improvement. And Quali has crossed the line. His Royal Highness the King Rapture has found more than 3/10 worth of improvement. Kid K, Tendo, Spizozo taking no further part in this qualifying session. Oh, King Rapture needed to find some improvement there through the middle sector. He's found 4/10 at the end of the middle sector. Now what the third and final sector needs to be inch perfect. Sixth gear through the third from last turn. This is the penultimate corner where things went so unstuck last time out. He's kept it together this time. He's not seeming to be fighting the steering wheel too much. His Royal Highness the King Rapture on the verge of improving over here, and he does! He's going to start in the front row. It's P2, 118.605, and a last gasp improvement from the Alpine superstar. His Royal Highness the King Rapture will start in P2. Where is Nquali is the question. And the answer to that is making the way back, as is Marshy, who is not on a push lap, seemingly. So that is that, folks. Mshengu will start in pole position alongside His Royal Highness the King Rapture. On the second row, Estexa and the Mercedes of Manray. Kapoza will start in the third row alongside Marshy. And Quali and Kid Kate make up P7 and 8. Tendo, Spizozo, P9 and 10. The former champion of the top tier, Titus, is here, asking Team Mercedes not to disappoint. Well, it's P4 and P8 for Team Mercedes. Manray, Kid K, what will they do when the race kicks off? BrakeAway Racing League action, Tier 2 in Australia, is up next. There we are, folks. Pole position for Mshengu, and the gap between P1 and 2, almost half a second. Sensationally done by the Alfa Romeo superstar. As Texa, half a second off the pace. And from P5 onwards, it is a second off the pace. 3 sets of tires used by King Rapture and Texa, the Alpha Tower driver, including 1 set of mediums. It is a similar case of 3 soft tires used by Man Ray, and Mshengu used just 2 sets to set that pole position time. And up next, featuring the Sultan of Straight Line Speeds by Zozo, we are going racing in Australia. Would you look at that cloud cover out here in Melbourne? Will we get a spot of rain before all is said and done? Well, it seems like it's going to be dry to start us off. Time will tell whether or not the drivers' fortunes will change. Welcome to BrakeAway Racing League action. Welcome to Tier 2. Welcome to Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to like the stream if you have not done so already. Subscribe to our channel if you're brand new around these parts. Let us see whether or not these drivers can put on a decent show as we watch closely to see how they fare. It is 4 lights, it is 5 lights. It's the only time South Africans look forward to the lights going out. We are racing in Australia. Mshengu versus King Rapture. Can King Rapture hold on? It looks like it has going on the outside, but not quite close enough to go for that move. And they come through fairly cleanly through turns 1 and 2. And a little bit of contact in the lower midfield. And His Royal Highness the King Rapture is applying all of the pressure towards Mshengu. Will he go for it? No, not quite. Not quite close enough there. As Texas still in P3. Man Ray in P4. Information. Oh no! The other Alfa Romeo of Inquali got hit and went completely off the track all the way down at the back as Tendo gets a time penalty already before the end of the first lap. Let's take a look at how things have changed. Everybody in the top 6 yet unchanged. Look at Zozo. He is absolutely making mincemeat out of the lower midfield, gaining 4 places since the start of this race. Zozo in good nick, in good form in the early stages of this race. On board we go with His Royal Highness the King Rapture, hunting down the race leading Mshengu, trying to keep Texa at bay. It is very tight in this early stage of this race. Great skies out here in Australia. Will we see a spot of rain before lap number 15 is concluded? Here we go now through turn number 11. It looks like King Rapture keeps it together, as does Texa, who's not as close as he would have wanted to be at this stage of this race. Early doors, early days, of course, as we hop on board with Man Ray to see how this race fares from the vantage point of P4. Kaboza is also close to Man Ray. On board to go with the Alpha Tower superstar as Mshengu crosses the line in P1. Kaboza goes wheel to wheel and tucks back into the slipstream of the Mercedes, not wanting to take unnecessary risks at this particular stage of the game. Zozo is a further 2.5 seconds behind that pair. Back on board we go with Kaboza, who has the front row seats to the battle for the top 4 positions of this race. There goes Mshengu through that left-hander. Gone is Mshengu now out of sight. Not out of mind for Kaboza is concerned. Both Kaboza and Man Ray take a heavy bit of curb over there coming through that particular corner. And now Kaboza is still applying the pressure as the yellow flags are flying all over the track. But the question is, for who? Zozo, still P6, Marshy, hunting them down. And Quali, is that wing intact? We took a lot of damage, but was that earlier? Kid K, car is still running. Wing is still intact. And there we go. It is just Tendo who lost their front wing, bringing out the first safety car of the day. Well. There we have it, folks. Tendo with a time penalty and a wing loss to boot. Started on the softs, as did most of the field. Just 4 contenders, that being His Royal Highness the King Rapture, who opts to stay out as Texa rolls the dice. Second lap comes into the pits, perhaps for a set of hards, assuming we would not get any more safety cars. Man Ray also in the pit. It is hard. Is it hard for Man Ray? Yes, it is. Especta opted for mediums. And Kaboza bolts on a set of hard tires. And Quali only now coming into their box. Are they serving? Yep, that looks like a 5-second time penalty. And then Quali will lose positions courtesy thereof. And bolts on a fresh wing as well as a set of hard tires. So Man Ray, Kaboza, Kid K, and Quali onto the hards, as is Tendo, whose wing loss necessitated this current safety car that we are currently under. Tendo now has those hard tires and a fresh wing to take them towards the end of this race. Shengu still in command, in control, in the lead of this race behind the safety car. His Royal Highness the King Rapture still looking to apply the pressure when the race restarts in a lap or two. Spizozo, oh, what a day it's been for them. That early set of safety cars has propelled Spizozo from the back of the pack all the way up into the podium places. But of course, remember, everybody in the top four yet to come into the pits, including this man, Morshi, currently P4, trying to keep Especta with those fresh mediums at bay. And now here comes the party of drivers looking to catch up to the action. The AlphaTauri of Especta is here. Man Ray joined the fray. We'll take these hard tires all the way towards the end, as will Kapoza in 7th, Kid K in 8th, and Quali 9th, Tendo in 10th. We're now waiting for the Ferrari to catch up to the back of the pack. We will at least go around this circuit one more time. Race control yet to give the word that the safety car is in. As they now weave to the left and to the right, trying to get some temperature into those tires. Do hope that this will be the final lap behind the safety car, and that we do not get to see the safety car between now and the end of this race. Just 15 laps around Melbourne amid a diminished field. And as they now make their way towards turn 9 and that braking zone, Tendo has caught up to the pack, and indeed race control gives the word that the safety car is in at the end of this lap. And Shangu, who leads the procession, will now dictate the pace as the safety car canters off into the distance. The onus is going to be on the Alfa Romeo of Mshengu to determine when and how racing resumes here in Australia. Well, Team Mercedes, Man Ray Kid K, has been asked kindly by former champion of the top tier Titus not to disappoint. Will that be the case here today? Time will tell. All eyes on Mshengu. Not least, of course, the eyes of His Royal Highness the King Rapture, who will watch very carefully to see when exactly Mshengu will send it. The answer is now, and the top two catching Spizozo completely off guard. He is 1.6 seconds off the pace. Oh, Spizozo now under pressure from the likes of Marshy, or is he? No, Marshy was also caught off guard by that restart. And there goes Mshengu and His Royal Highness the King Rapture, completely unchallenged through the first couple of corners. It is the 5th race of a total 15. Tando versus Nkwali in the lower midfield. We'll catch up with that action a little bit later on. In fact, we'll catch up with that action now. Tando looking to apply the pressure as Kid K is looking to make light work of quality. Tando goes off the track. Tando completely in 6s and 7s almost sends it into the wall, but thankfully for the Ferrari driver, not losing that wing once again. It's another yellow flag. It's another 3-second time penalty, but Tando catches their breath. Thankfully, not losing that wing one more time. Back to the front we go. His Royal Highness the King Raptor looking to snatch the race lead from M. Shengu. These top two drivers now almost 2 seconds ahead of the pack. It is 2 seconds that they have galloped ahead of Spizoso, who is also fighting for a podium place here, having started oh so far back. Spizoso, of course, did not come into the pits. Grey skies out here in Australia. Not a drop of rain thus far, as Billy Hendricks responds to Tendo's antics. King Raptor applying all of the pressure. Look at that yellow bar down at the bottom of that steering wheel. Indication of how much battery power His Royal Highness the King Raptor still has in store. And the answer is a significant amount, as he is managing that battery, uses a little bit now so as to not fall out of a second as far as that gap is concerned between themselves and M. Shengu. Now, the battle for P3, it is Marshy versus M. Spizoso, I beg your pardon. Both these drivers did not pit. They still have those soft tires that they started the race with. Very fresh. Oh, Spizoso gets it completely wrong and almost loses their car, but manages to catch it at the death. Spizoso with a huge heart and mouth moment. What in the world is going on at Ferrari today? Both of the drivers flirting with the walls, flirting with possible DNFs, but Spizoso caught it at the death. And here comes the specter of the surging AlphaTauri, Espresso, Capoza on a fresh set of mediums and hards respectively. They know that the top four drivers have yet to come into the pit, and so all they need to do is just keep it fresh, keep it clean, keep their noses out of trouble. Capoza in the slipstream of their teammates while trying to keep Man Ray at bay. It is all off and popping in the midfield of this race. Man Ray loses a little bit of ground there on the exit of that particular corner. Capoza pushing their teammate on the long as they make their way now into the penultimate corner. Man Ray looking to take advantage of the fact that all three cars ahead of him are running still close to one another. DRS has been enabled once again as Capoza goes side by side with their teammate, and Capoza streaks through now up to P5. As they come now in towards turn number one, Capoza is going to look to make light work of Spizoso, who is struggling out here in the seventh lap. Capoza is going to go on the inside well before the braking zone, and Spizoso does not have an answer. Oh, they bang wheels! They bang wheels, but Spizoso keeps it together, as does Capoza, who is thankful that that move came off cleanly as far as he is concerned. And Man Ray, who was hunting down Capoza less than a minute ago, now finds himself still languishing in P7, trying to catch up all the AlphaTauri and the Alpha and the Ferrari. Bang wheels, Spizoso went off the track. Spizoso comes back. Here comes Man Ray now on the outside. It's this fast section of the track, and Man Ray looks to have it done. Or does he? No, he does not. Team Red is flagging, says Jackie Trapp in the comment section. It is very, very dramatic stuff that we're seeing over here. Oh, Spizoso deep there in towards that turn 9. He keeps it together, or does he? Man Ray has to slam the brakes so as to not go careening into the back of that Ferrari at that particular point in time. Turn 11 now. Who will get it wrong? It seems that they all reasonably hit the apex at that section of the track as M. Shengu finally comes into the pits. His Royal Highness, the King Raptor, carries on out here on track. Not a spot of rain despite great skies. Spizoso struggling for grip here on these aging soft tires. Spizoso, who did so well to find himself in the podium places, is slowly but surely inching further and further down. When will Spizoso pit? Aging soft tires out here. The stubborn Spizoso in the Scarlet Red Ferrari is still fighting for dear life in this 8th lap of a total 15. Man Ray now looking to overtake and overcome the stubborn Spizoso. Easier said than done. Very, very close to these two veteran drivers. So much experience both of them have in the top tier of BrakeAway League Racing. But time has not been kind to either of them. Now racing in the second tier of BrakeAway League Racing. Man Ray, look at the shoulder clash with Man Ray playing it super ultra careful now in this 8th lap. Spizoso, who loves a low downforce setup, having fun keeping Man Ray at bay on this section of the track. Spizoso looking to slam the door shut. Wheel to wheel they go. And Man Ray relenting over there, not looking to take any risks. Man Ray, perhaps not as aggressive as the other drivers might have been to completely go elbows out of that section of the track. Man Ray playing the long game, knowing that all he needs to do is bide his time. But as he does that, of course, Sketsa streaks further ahead. Kapoza streaks further ahead as well. So he best not waste too much time. Spazoso wide again, finally now coming into the pits, which will allow Man Ray to get promoted up to P4. Breathless action here, BrakeAway Racing League now. Mshengu versus Kid K. Mshengu, who led this race once upon a time, now on the inside of Kid K in towards turn number 1 up to P6. Mshengu, who of course did not take advantage of the safety car as far as coming into the pits was concerned, finds himself 20 seconds, almost a full pit stop, behind the race leading King Rapture, who themselves has yet to pit. Kaboza is in the net lead, considering His Royal Highness the King Rapture still has to come into the pits. So, Mshengu is going to be paying close attention to how far ahead Kaboza is. And that answer now is, 14 seconds, give or take? And inching further and further down, Spizoso gets a time penalty for track limit warnings, sadly for them. On board we go with Mshengu, who's going to look to get a little bit of assistance as far as DRS is concerned from their teammate in Quali. Now through turn 11 they go. Much quicker is Mshengu there through that corner. 6-lap old hards. Oh, wow. That was close call if ever there was one. King Rapture finally in the pits now. Will be surpassed by Mshengu at this rate. His Royal Highness the King Rapture only now coming out of the pits. I spoke too soon. Oh, they were wheel to wheel, but Mshengu on the exit of the pits. Oh, not just a pit. His Royal Highness the King Rapture. That is who Mshengu was thinking about this entire time. But the King Rapture, who finds himself 14.8 seconds behind race leading Kaboza, with 5 laps of racing still to go, 6 including this one. Has a lot of work to do. Kaboza may yet have it in the bag. No, thinking about their own experience, their own quality, their own pace relative to the rest of this field. King Rapture is going to give it an almighty push. And look at that yellow bar. Has been saving up and harvesting that battery power while Mshengu is flashing ahead. Mshengu's battery down to 10% or less, hence the flashing. Mshengu using battery to keep His Royal Highness the King Rapture at bay before they come to the braking zone of turn number 11. It is 2-lap old mediums versus fresh soft tires on the final 5 laps, the final 5 tours around the Melbourne street circuit out here. Oh no! Mshengu gets it completely wrong on the exit of the penultimate corner. It is an unforced error. Mshengu was into the grass. His Royal Highness the King Rapture did not need a second invitation to snatch P4 out of the hands of Mshengu. Oh man, absolutely unforced errors. He is out of battery power. He is out of the reckoning for that P4 spot. Look at that. Now a second and a half behind King Rapture is Mshengu, inching up towards 2 seconds. Unforced errors taking him completely out of the reckoning. Drama out here in Australia, folks. Meanwhile, in the lowland field, it is Kid K trying to catch up to Nquali. They both pitted under the safety car, hoping to go long on the set of hard tires. Just 4 laps remaining at the end of this one. Kid K much more comfortable through those sequences of corners. Now, within 0.4 of a second of Nquali, who was much lower relative to Mshengu in this corner last tire out. And Kid K inches even closer now to the back of this Alfa Romeo, looking to turn P8 into 7. Ooh, almost going a little bit deep there. King Rapture on those soft tires sets the fastest lap of the day, 120.349, as Kid K is now looking to challenge the Alfa Romeo in towards turn number 1. Close, but not close enough. We've seen unforced errors lead to a change of position all throughout the track here. Will that be the case for Inquali? Their teammate lost P4 to King Rapture, courtesy of a mistake of their own. Oh no! Kid K this time goes completely off and finds the grass, but thankfully for Kid K, it did not lose the car. It's a hard-mouth moment for the Mercedes driver, being cheered on somewhere in South Africa, somewhere in the comment section, by former champion of the top tier, Titus. It was begged the Mercedes duo not to disappoint them. The Kid K, courtesy of that mistake, slipping almost out of the DRS of Inquali. Enjoys turn 9 and 10, does Kid K. Always finds a lot of ground to make up and really trims that gap to Inquali through turns 8 all the way through towards turn number 11. Kid K is not utilizing the slipstream on the straights, says Titus, urging Kid K to watch the line that he takes through the long straights. Inquali makes a mistake. Kid K was out of the slipstream, now tries to take advantage of it, but is 7/10 away from the Alfa Romeo. So it's a fight that we're going to watch very, very closely here. And as these two battle, of course, the Sultan of Straight Line Speed, Spyzozo, inches closer and closer to challenging for this P7 spot. There he is, Spyzozo, now 1.2 seconds, soon to be within a second. And as I say that, yep, he is within DRS. Well, Kid K loves picking up rubber off track, picking up the marbles, if you will, off the racing line. Now, Spyzozo has front row seats to the battle for P7. Oh, and as Inquali goes off the racing line and Kid K follows suit. Oh, Kid K completely just gave up that position. No fight whatsoever. Just lets Spyzozo through. And now the Ferrari superstar is going to look to make light work of Inquali, especially considering the difference in grip levels and much fresher medium tires versus aging hards. Oh, Inquali on the exit of the final corner really had to catch that car. Side by side goes Spyzozo, the Sultan of Straight Line Speed, DRS in towards turn 1, and the Ferrari superstar is now up to P7. And it's going to take a lot of work from Inquali to be able to stay in touch of the Ferrari there. And we'll see whether or not he could manage to get that done. Meanwhile, Capoza has been imperious ever since slipping on those hard tires and biding their time, waiting for the drivers that were ahead to come into the pits by Zozo. The latest to get penalized for track limits. Capoza has been imperious, and Man Ray has just overtaken Capoza's teammate as Texas to go up to P2. It was an AlphaTauri 1-2 up until just a second ago, where Man Ray overtook the AlphaTauri. Man Ray now up to P2 on the penultimate lap of this race. Soon to be the final lap that Capoza will begin around this here circuit. And look at that, joining the party, joining the fray, joining the battle is the Alpine of His Royal Highness, the King Rapture, on those brand spanking new soft tires. And I'll tell you what, in the final lap of this race, oh, King Rapture had to watch it over there so as to not go careening nose to tail into the back of the AlphaTauri. Here they go now through the first sector. The AlphaTauri is flashing as, of course, His Royal Highness the King Rapture also does not have a lot of battery power remaining. It is going to have to be an inch perfect sector 2 and 3. Oh no! The Alpine gets a 3-second time penalty, and that pretty much ruins their prospects of that P2 finish. Capoza is an entire 10 seconds ahead of these drivers who are fighting it out for P2. Capoza has been imperious here, it must be said, as we now watch this trio come screaming through the second sector of this track. It is the final lap of this race. Oh, really had to catch it there, did His Royal Highness the King Rapture. Still within 4/10, still within fighting chance of something special over here. And through the penultimate corner, goes Kaboza, who needs, of course, to get their plaudits. Oh, His Royal Highness the King Rapture is hunting for a tiniest of opportunities. Kaboza wins in Australia. Sensationally done by them. Now King Rapture is going to look to have something special done on the line. Oh, he's catching that car with every inch of his might. But Man Ray is going to come across the line to take P2 when Texa holds on to the podium places. And Shengu gets promoted up to P4, courtesy of Rapture's time penalty. Marshy, Rapture P5, Marshy P6 by Zozo has had an absolutely dramatic race, now coming towards the end of this showcase. Will cross the line for P7 and Quali now going all the way up to those spots. It looks like it's going to be P7 for Quali and Kid K finishing in P9. And then this race rounded off, of course, by Tendo. Well, Kaboza, elected by the game as driver of the day. Let us know if you agree in the comment section. Kaboza was very quick to join the fray in the commentary box. Congratulations, Kaboza. Race win. Take us through that. Well, the top drivers opted to stay out. I don't know if there was a possibility of rain. Were they waiting for rain? You guys rolled the dice in the safety car. You came in. Congratulations. Take us through that race, Kaboza, and also how difficult that might have been, or those tires might have felt towards the end.
And I said this without any fear of contradiction. We are cruising nicely.
I don't know if you caught that. Kaboza quotes the South African politician Julius Malema. We are cruising nicely. Playing that soundbite. You must have really enjoyed that, Kaboza. How difficult was it towards the end, or was it difficult with those aging tires?
Greetings, long time. In a long season, obviously plagued with commitments, couldn't race most of the time. Even today, road dog the race. I was struggling in quali. I think I started P5. I tried the first run. It wasn't successful. I did the first run, which was very slow. Then the second run, I went into the gravel. So I knew I had to do it all in the race. And then with the safety car in a short race, I think it's always best to pit for tires, because even if you go long, there's not enough time for you to make up the time. As you saw with King Rapture, he tried that by staying out in the safety car, and then he ended up P4, I think. So the tires were okay, because I had to choose hard since I started on mediums. But yeah, it was just learning, getting back the muscle memory, and also congrats to my teammates on the automatic qualification, double podium AlphaTauri. I'm not sure if it has happened before with the double promotion from the same. I don't think it has. Tamayo and Kuteb, so one of them was auto and the other one was in playoffs. So I think it's the first time when two teammates get automatically promoted to the top
Let's
tier.
go, Kaposa, let's
So
go.
shout out, let's go. It was a very nice race. Not that many incidents from my side. Yeah, it was a good one. Thanks.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I was speaking to myself. Man Ray, congratulations to you as well. It was beautifully done towards the end there. That huge battle with the Alpha Tauris, both of them, or rather Estexa, and of course, I think it was King Rapture who was breathing down your neck. Take us through that race and also how those tires felt towards the end there. Wow, man. Looking very, very good, especially that battle towards the end there. Pretty sure you're going to enjoy watching that back. It was quite an interesting race throughout the midfield as well. But the other AlphaTauri is Keksa, also on the podium, a double promotion for Team AlphaTauri. Congratulations. Take us through how Quali felt. You looked very comfortable there in the battles that you were involved with, and also how you looking ahead towards the challenge of the top tier next season.
Oh, hi, Ty, and Breakaway fans. It's been hard. I don't know if I'm audible. I don't know if you can hear me.
We will get confirmation. Let us know if you can hear Aspexa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Quali, I wasn't that confident, but I knew that I was low 18s, 118s. But then I hit 118.6, and then King Rapture just hit a 605, so he went P2, I think. So yeah, I wasn't that confident with my quali, but race pace, yes, I was very, very confident, and I know that I wanted to be at least P6 so that I can make automatic promotion to tier one, or P3. It's just better than P6, I guess. It was a very intense battle with Umendre. Umendre was pretty quick as well, and his last laps that we battled, he was strong. I could see him. I couldn't I couldn't defend against him. So yeah, kudos to him, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely brilliantly done. And of course, you did way, way better than you would have wanted as far as the bare minimum was concerned. So not having to worry about those playoffs. Man Ray, just take us through your reflections on this season thus far, and also just your expectations of what you're looking forward to for the seasons ahead. I I believe it might be. I think for tier one playoffs, the settings are as you basically race as if you were in a tier one race. That is my understanding. So I do believe it would be ABS off for those playoffs. So it is something to bear in mind there. And Espenza, just finally, you've of course been part of the Breakaway family for quite some time now. You know, and you've watched you've seen a lot of tier one races. How are you feeling as far as your own prospects and that adjustment to tier one?
There's not much of adjustment because I'm already driving with APS off, so as Mendre, I know. So I think the most thing that I need to concentrate on is just getting as much points as possible. Those 1, 2, 3 points are very important in tier one. So that'll be my strategy because these guys, hey, their pace is just insane. So yeah, that's my strategy for now until I gain a lot of pace.
All right, gentlemen, ma'am, Ray, Espenza, congratulations to you both.
Tier one, baby, let's go! Finally!
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. What a journey it's been. What a journey it's been. Looking forward to seeing both of you do your thing in the races to come. And yeah, congratulations. And thank you very much for being such a fantastic sports. To everyone who was joining us in the broadcast, thank you as well. And we will see you hopefully for Tier 1 action tomorrow, either 7:30 or 8 p.m. Central African time. We do hope that race will be broadcast, and we will catch you all pretty soon. Thank you and good night.